Well, there had been a certain video I had just gotten recorded last night and just now got it uploaded to my YouTube even as I'm recording this one. And I'd say that there's probably going to be a couple of things to plug in here. We're going to probably plug the little rotary tool in, and then also maybe I would say take care of that little bit and the wood burner as well. And that is where we've kind of got little places we need to do to finish up these little coyotes. There's probably going to be other steps I'm going to do separate, because there are some pieces I make where, you know, you kind of see certain parts being done with other figures. So this morning, before going into work, I decided to go ahead and take my sandpaper and to go ahead and sand these things, which I've done since the last video where I was showing some little carving steps. And of course there may even be some things like, I'd say perhaps, you know, I'd say like recording some video and making where little things come in and go with the little rotary tool. And there's little steps here I say we'll take along this. And while we've got the wood burner heating up, I think I will go ahead, put a little bit into the rotary tool that we will use for the little eyes of the coyote. I've already drawn in lines as far as where the eyes, nose, and whiskers and stuff go. There's a special thing we'll be doing on this one that we might not have done on any before, and I'll show you that later. And I'd say we got those little eyes drilled in by the little rotary tool bit. They did come down a little bit more on one than they did on the other, so that's where the little work is coming along. Do think it's time to kind of take the wood burner and put in a little place where we mark in for the nose, make it so it's going to be in its good old little place, and see how it shall kind of come to turn out. I say, oh, and the little work to do in this little project here. We made the nose just like this, and we're going to try to put in a little line to kind of try to make it so it's going to be just a little bit, I'd say, muzzled up, and kind of put a little soul work into making the thing. And we've already done it on this one here. We're going to do it on this one as well. And that's just one of those things where, especially whenever it comes to harder woods, you have to be careful not to press too hard with these little burning pins, because, you know, you just might break the metal as hot as it is, and with the metal being as hot as it is, that might cause it to break a little more easily in a case like this. So that's what we've done here. I've got little places marked out where we shall put in the whiskers on the sides. So I've got little to-do places here, and make it so it's going to be just a little work of my hand, making it so whiskers are going to come out just the way they do, and then try to kind of put the little places in here where you mark the lines, make the little dots. And I'm going to take care of that on this little Coyote 2 here, make it so it's going to come out a little better. Do want to tell you all that probably didn't mention this in yesterday's video, but little dramatic things happened in my workplace. A lady I work with, she had some trays dropped on her foot yesterday, and well, or rather yet, the sharp edges of the trays, they cut through her shoe and then cut right into her foot, causing her to kind of need a couple stitches. So we've kind of got that underway, and you know, little things are going to happen sometimes. We've kind of got it a little bit more under control here now, and I mean, I was just kind of a little shook up by that yesterday. I was out actually in the cafeteria picking up trays when it happened, and just came by there and saw her with her shoe off and somebody doctoring her foot. So that's kind of just the little way I've noticed little things like that. So I was just kind of shook up by what I saw and noticed when I came back in. So it was just a little bit dramatizing, so I managed that well. One little thing I'd like to mention with these is, with these ones here, we're going to use a little bit of a bigger rotary tool bit to put in a little hole for its mouth as if it is howling, and we're going to put it in just like this. And I'd say for what we've gotten here, we've got little steps to take further on, and I'm just going to say that there's probably some little things we'll do here. I think this is the best place to write Kentucky Coffee Tree, is down here, because it's the back foot. Didn't really think I'd be doing this on video, but we do need to put a little more time into the video, so I think I'm going to try to go ahead and take care of that little place there. And of all things, little things I learned, that Japan or Kentucky are probably the only places you'd see a coffee tree. Probably shared that a little bit before in a previous video, but as far as how work's come along here, I'm doing a little better things in my life than what I have, and I say kind of getting the work to where it's going to be done in a little jiffy sooner or later. Might have to make this a little hotter so we can really kind of get the letters in, because I did have it a little low on the heat there, and probably where it was having a little trouble. I'd say that little work can make its way down to what we see and what we need. I say that it probably got a little bit off on the letters here on the E's, because it might have gotten a little too much work in there, I'd say. And I'll tell y'all that there's going to be a little more work to do. I'd say we've got Kentucky Coffee Tree in here. I get to the point where the longer I carve and sand, the more I just start to see little things where they need to be. Got it on there right like that. Think I'm going to try to do the same little steps here on this one as well. Try to get the little bit of work into the Coyote. And they always say coffee tree is a good wood. I know all the stories about it, and even a time when in the Wood Carvers Guild we were all led to a farm where somebody had a coffee tree that fell down in the ice storm and wanted us to save some of it. I wasn't able to follow the people down there and find my way, but one man collected a lot of it and cut it down to pieces, put it through his planer, had plenty of pieces there to share, so we enjoyed working with what he had of it. And this kind of work is just the thing that we see. You know, some people like to take this wood and carve bowls out of it. As for me, I find that to be a lot of work. A lot more work than I really enjoy doing, because it gets to be so hard. And that's why I'd just as soon carve the figurines, if nothing else. That's what I'd rather do. Thinking this time we're going to try to put the initials and the year back here behind the hind legs. Maybe make it a little bit hotter to do that. I say we got that little bit done there. I think we're going to take care of this little one too. Try to get what we need done in there, because I'd say when it comes time to put on the slogan tag, we will have that be on the lower, below the front paw, because that's where I'd say it's going to need to be. We kind of got little years on here, and this little time with this little bit of work, we make our way down to something being just exactly what we want it to be or need it to be. And so I say we might just go ahead, demonstrate something here. Take a little sandpaper, and where we kind of made the pencil lines to line up where its eyes and its whiskers would be, we can kind of sand those pencil lines away here, just to kind of give it back its realistic appearance for what it needs to be. And so I'd say this little work is coming its way, making it so we're going to see a little light. I know sometimes these little things like this, kids love to play with this stuff, and even if it's made out of wood or whatever, so that's how the little work makes its way along. I like to share how it does, see what it does, and a little time in my life when just a little light can come, make its way to us, brighten our days and brighten our nights, bless us all. I say, this isn't going to be too long for a video, but we'll kind of take our time with this, see how it goes. You've already seen how we put the slogan tag on with other things, and you've seen how we do all the soaking and things like that we do with all these figurines. So I'd say for a little work coming this way, you're going to get to see a little bit more happen over time, and I'd say that it's just going to be a little work you're going to do just to make it sound brighter and better. And I say that this is just kind of things that with this little work you do, oh, good job, I say, kind of make it so it's going to be brighter and shinier. Try to get it a little smoother with the sanding, make it so it's going to be better, and all make it so it's going to see a little light in us and brighten us and tell us all the good things about what a coyote does, eating all the pests away so we don't have them in our gardens and stuff. So I'd say that this is just kind of some work that makes its way about us, and so I'd say we kind of got the little work doing its way, making it so we can see how much better we can be. Do think I've taken long enough here. Might be ready to turn this off now, so this will end the series on the carving of the coyote, and want you to take care and be safe, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.